What's up, everybody? This review, we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Inhumans Crystal and Lockjaw set. So this one's been out for a while, and I just kept putting it off. But now that they announced the other two packs, Medusa and Gorgon, Black Bolt and Triton, and we're getting that royal family, I decided to go ahead and just pull the trigger on this one. Because you got to have them to pick up the whole set. You know, you got the princess of the royal family, we've got Lockjaw, gotta have Lockjaw, right? I was also kind of mixed on it because Mezco made the Black Bolt and Lockjaw figure, and that kind of made me hold off also to kind of figure out which way I wanted to go with it. But in the end, ultimately, I decided to go this way. So here you've got this big box here for them. You've got Crystal Lockjaw on the front. You got the side with Lockjaw. You got the back with the figures there. You can see Crystal and our Lockjaw. Got a little bit of a story. Then you get the other side with Crystal. And then we got the front again. Well, let's get her open and check it out. All right, so here they are outside the packaging, and they look pretty good. This Lockjaw actually has a lot more going on with it than I thought he was going to. Even though this set has been out for a while, I haven't really seen anything on it. And I just personally haven't gone out of my way to watch anything. But also, um, in person, I haven't really seen it like in any of friends' collections, that sort of thing. So it's going to be interesting going through him. But yeah, he already threw me off with how much he comes with himself, which is pretty cool. So I think we'll probably start with our Crystal and then we'll go through his stuff. So Crystal doesn't come with a crazy amount of things. We've got the different head sculpt, which looks good. The head sculpts on her look pretty nice. That nice hair sculpt, and then you've got the little dark parts of her hair she's known to have. Looks really nice. You get this little flame effect, yellow to orange. Really nicely done. That looks really good. Probably one of their better ones. And then she comes with a couple of fists. There's another effect here. I could probably use for her, or you could probably throw it on like a tuning fork. Probably use it in a bunch of different ways, you know. But pretty sure that's like one of her elemental things. Yeah, gonna go around the wrist. But that is it. And this tuning fork, of course, goes for our lockjaw, which is just that plain silver. Now, looking at her, she looks really good. Nice head sculpt. The face is pretty good. A little smudge there, but it's okay. Everything else looks pretty decent. Hair sculpt, black in the hair. That yellow suit, nice yellow. Love that. They nailed it with that look. Got the black outlines. Body is plain. The belt is sculpted on there. But it's just pretty much like a plain body, just molded in yellow and painted in black. But it looks really nicely done. She has a simple design, and I think they pulled it off pretty good. Nothing much for her stuff because it's all smooth. For articulation, the head moves down about that far, which is actually really, really nice. I didn't think it was going to be able to. There's a hinge in there, I believe. Yeah, there's a hinge, and the hair gives so that you can get some really nice motion. That's awesome. Going back, it does kind of give just a tiny bit, only goes about that far, so not very far. A little more resistance there because a lot more hair. T pose, upper bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows that move really, really well. Hinge rotation in the wrist, diaphragm, left to right, goes forward only about that far, goes back farther than it does forward, which is usually the case. And I usually hate that also. Still do. more important for me to go forward than anything. No like waist cut or anything like that. Again, you're getting all your motion here in the diaphragm. Leg goes forward about that far. Back to neutral. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed pinless knees. And then you've got a hinge pivot in the ankle. So no cut down here or anything like that at all. Which I kind of don't like. I wish there was. I wish there was a little cut down there. Give her some more articulation, range of motion. Able to hit some better poses. But this is like an older style body too. Like not much going on. Well, I say it's an older style body, but not. I guess not really, because you got the double jointed elbows and knees, which they haven't had forever. Her knees are slightly different, yellow, but they blend pretty decent. But you kind of tell now that I moved it like that. It's a little more towards the orange side, kind of like She-Hulk, where she had the different greens. She has different yellows. Yeah, so I guess I wouldn't say this is like a true older body, but not like there's an ab crunch and a diaphragm. You know, that'd be nice. Even if they're not like dynamic characters, I want dynamic articulation so that I get the chance to do what I want with it. Like, don't limit me. Don't limit somebody else. Let them figure out what they want. So here's Crystal holding the elements, just the fire and kind of manipulating the wind. Got those in her hand. Just kind of pop the hands off and then slid these over the wrist and then pop the hands right back in through them. And they look pretty good. Not bad. Kind of wish they gave her a couple of other elements, you know? Water, earth. Maybe some rocks or, just a little water effect would be pretty cool. Or maybe like shooting it out. Like that would have been pretty cool. There might be a way to make this work though. Maybe attaching it to the hand somehow. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe some extra, messing with it. Probably get something in there to make it look like she's shooting out and really manipulating it. That would have been pretty cool. This other head sculpt on. With the sweeping hair. Kind of make it really look like she's manipulating the wind sort of thing. Maybe she's just standing there. The wind is blowing. Maybe they just teleported in with Lockjaw, something like that. A couple different ideas. They're just going through my head, but I like this other idea. If I can get her to stand right. Of our little resident speedster. Maybe flying by. And the hair gets that little swoosh. I kind of wish she would have came with their daughter. That'd be pretty cool. Are they even married? I don't even know if they got married. Baby daddy. But that is them two together, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, but their daughter would have been cool to have in there. Stand her up next to him. You see that height difference there. Really cool. Really nice. So for another quick comparison, got her next to Miss Marvel. This is a newer Miss Marvel, new female body. So our Crystal has just the diaphragm joint, but this one has the diaphragm and the ab crunch. Crystal looks like she might be slightly taller, not by much. You got similar arms, double jointed, really nice. Just that abdomen and upper torso section that are different. Butterfly joints. Still both look pretty good. Really good, rather. This Miss Marvel was always awesome. It looks so amazing. The Crystal is not that bad either. Even though it doesn't have like the ab crunch or anything like that, she's not a terrible figure, you know. And then we got a Medusa hanging around also. This is a Medusa. I believe it's from a San Diego Comic Con set. So I do like the look of it. Got the M on there, everything like that. She is taller, larger. Kind of cool. Gives Crystal that more like younger sister look. But yeah, the Medusa was always top heavy because of the hair, and then she had the heels, so didn't make things any better. Up next, we got Lockjaw, and he looks pretty cool. He's got them giant eyes. He's just happy. Looks pretty cool. He's got let's see, we've got the different tuning fork. So he's got the tuning fork on his head where he's using his powers. Probably just got there or going somewhere. Then we've got this one here. Like he's just chilling. It'll just kind of plug in there. Yeah. Swap that out. Plug that in. Take that out. Probably leave this one in. It just looks cooler. But again, smiling. Other stuff he comes with. So the face part will come off, but he also has these different hind legs, which is really cool. So you can have him kind of sitting. Nice fur sculpt. Toes. Different face to plug in. We'll swap right there. So you got happy face, little grumpy face, but nice sculpt under there. Nice paint. Little more light hairs underneath. You got the darker hairs, teeth, shiny nose, folds. Really cool. So looking at Lockjaw himself, again, he's got that smiling face, got the tuning fork, big eyes, his little ears, all the little folds, wrinkles. Underneath, he's got that lighter fur, which is cool. Got the toes. No articulation in the legs other than being on a ball joint, but like nothing here at the back or there. Just, oh, and we got the little paws. I guess I should say that, but you know, I've been getting used to a lot of figures that have a little joint here and here maybe, and he doesn't come with that. But this is pretty good though. I like that because it does come with another set of legs too to get some posing out of. Top part, his little tail. This articulation wise, it rolls around. Looks like it'll roll. And then you've got the hinge here. It's a little higher, lower, depending on what you want. Again, each leg is on a ball. So you go out, forward, back, a hinge, and pivot on the ball. And I call them the wrists and ankles, but lower parts of the feet. And then for the head portion, is also on a ball. Can roll around, turn, turn, up, down. Nothing for the jaw. And again, this portion does come off. Just like that. Face off. Line those up. Push that on. Got a little bit more serious. Hind leg. Pop that on. Kind of cool because I kind of want to be like, maybe he's taking a leak on something. That's funny. Definitely put the smiling face on and kind of get that pose going. How can you get bad at that? We'll take the other leg off. Pop that on. Then we can get our nice little sitting pose. I can get him to look right. Right now he looks like he wants to play. If you got a larger character, maybe he's, kind of hitting their waist, pawing at him. Just being a good boy. Yeah, you can have him kind of squatting there. Love that they including the other legs for that. Like, that's so cool. I know Mezco makes the black bolt that came with the lockjaw. I haven't seen that one in person, and definitely haven't seen it as. I don't think I remember watching any videos to see if there was like a good comparison or anything like that. I almost picked it up because I really wanted that black bolt, but I was definitely unsure on the lockjaw. Just curious. I was really curious to see which one would be the better, but I don't have that one. I never picked it up, and now that Legends has their updated black bolt and stuff, I don't know that I would try to go after the Mezco one. I don't know. I gotta see something on it, honestly. But it hasn't been at the top of my list or anything like that. All right, so overall, I think the set is pretty cool. Pretty kind of expensive though. Um, Honestly, I think all the figures are going up, and the 2-packs are just kind of really up there. Um, for having such a, I was gonna I wanted the set anyways, but I just kept putting it off and off, and now that they have those other legend sets coming, it made it more worth it to get. If we didn't have it, I think I'd probably still be waiting, like holding off. Honestly, I do think it is a good set. I don't think there's anything really wrong with it other than just the price of it, and that's going to be up to each individual person whether it was crazy or not enough for them. I do wish that Crystal had a more updated body, but again, I think she might have came out before they really started using those. Um, is it a cool set by itself? Yeah, everybody knows Lockjaw, and you can use Crystal, and you got Quicksilver, or maybe you do a Johnny Storm Crystal thing before, before Quicksilver's actually there like that. But yeah, so many different things you can do with them, and I mean, they did a really great job. She's not bad. She looks really good. Um, the paint looks good. The apps, and she even moves pretty good for that body. She's holding up really well, so that's really cool. Lockjaw is awesome. The sculpt is good. The paint is good. The different face is really nice. The different legs, that's fun. So you get a lot of fun out of him. It's still a matter of, do you think? I don't know. Do you think you're going to get the rest of them, or are you going to get your money's worth out of just having these two? It's just one of those things. I I think that's why they purposed Crystal with Lockjaw. If Crystal was sitting on a peg, probably a peg warmer, but everybody wanted Lockjaw. Glad they didn't do him as like a Build-A-Figure. That would have been crazy. Um, could have messed up a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why they purposed him. Everybody knows that you really wanted Lockjaw. Who doesn't want Lockjaw? Have some fun with this guy. But it's not that she's bad either, but because she's the one that you're probably going to be like, I don't know, does it make the set worth it? I don't know. That's kind of up to each person. Now, what brings more value to it now is because you've got the other sets coming, so you're going to get a whole new updated Inhumans team with more characters. Plus, with them coming out together, they'll look more in line together. One won't be drastically outdated than the others. Karnak's been out for a while. This Medusa's been out for a while. Older body. I don't know. That's going to be a tough call. But hopefully I showed you enough to help you out in deciding whether it's for you or not. If you're planning to get the rest of them, I think it's definitely worth it. Amazon, I think, has been having little sales on it here and there. Not by much. I wish it was more by now because it's been out for a little while. But, something is something. And then you have the whole family together. That's going to be really cool, which I'll be reviewing the other ones. But and then phasing out, of course, the other ones. Medusa's going to get phased out. Black Bolt's going to get phased out. Only Karnak we have, so that's something to think about also. But yeah, as always, I hope I helped you out in some way, showed you enough to help you out, anyways, in deciding whether it's for you or not. Are you going to get the whole set, the whole team, the whole family, rather, and or is it something you're not really interested in? Maybe you want Lockjaw only, and you weren't really sure how it was going to be. But so many different questions. Hopefully, I answered it in some way. But I will catch y'all in the next one. Later.